boys and girls, Mrs. Hales here with your next art lesson. Today we're going to be coloring in our apartment buildings inspired by the book we read last week, The Noisy Night Apartment. You should have completed last week the cutting out of your windows and your door and the gluing of your facade or the front of your building onto the white background, and then gluing that whole building onto a colorful black or colored piece of construction paper. So this is what you should have, something that looks a little bit like this for this week. This example I made has 6 windows and a door. Your example probably only has 5 windows and a door. So what we're going to do today is finishing up drawing things in each of the windows and then going ahead and coloring those in. I put an elevator inside my first story behind my door. My first floor, of course I had to have somebody making art living on the second story. There's a baby looking out the window on the 3rd story of my building. The 4th story or floor has a puppy dog and a bird in there. There's some people watching TV on the 5th floor, the 5th story, and then I've got somebody playing music up here on the top floor of my apartment building. Let's brainstorm or come up with other ideas for things that you could have people doing in your apartment building. You could have some farm animals like a chicken or a goat in there. That would be really funny. You could have people cooking. What else could you have people doing? You could have lots of plants growing in the window or a garden box. You could have people dancing. So there are all kinds of things you could have people, you could have somebody sleeping. That would be perfectly okay because it was at night. So I'm going to give you most of the day today to go ahead and get those things drawn in each window. If you'd like to decorate the outside of your building, I'm going to show you how to draw some bricks real quick. And I put a couple plants in some urns outside my door. But any other decorations or ornamentation that you want to do to your building, that is awesome. All right, I'm going to show you how to draw some brick and some ivy, and then I'll give you most of class to work on your apartment buildings. The only supplies you need today are crayons. I used Sharpie to go over my pencil drawings, but you don't have to do that. You could use crayons, or you could use crayons and markers, or if you want, you can use crayons and Sharpies. So it's an easy supply day. Okay, to make brick like you would see on most of the houses around here, you just want to make a series of rectangles that are about the same size that are connected. You want to offset them so that the rectangles are all not right on top of each other, but they're over to the right a little bit or over to the left. The other cool thing about doing these textures on buildings is you don't have to fill in your whole building. Like I just did, I gave the illusion of brick in 2 or 3 places on my building. If you want to make stones that are different sizes and irregular shapes, you just draw rectangles and squares on top of each other and connected to each other. But you don't have to fill in your whole building like that. Another type of stone that is less common on buildings today, but you would find it more on older buildings or on walls, is rounder stone. So they're not perfect circles, but they're more like irregular round shapes. But again, make them touching each other so they're connected. The way architects and designers give the illusion or the impression of brick or stone is to just color it in a few places. So I did it 1, 2, 3 places on my building. And so you can tell that this building is brick without me having to spend all that time drawing each and every brick. The way that you can draw ivy is to just draw a wavy line in a couple places on your building, and then I just drew little heart-shaped leaves on that. So you could do that, but you could make any kind of vine plant you wanted on your building. I just made ivy, but you could have moon vine or some kind of florally vine or whatever you wanted to have on there. All right, boys and girls, have a great time and be creative coloring in what's going on inside your building and outside. I'll see you next time.